Okay, you are definitely in for a treat today. We are going deep, really deep, into something fans are buzzing about right now.
Absolutely. We're talking the season finale of Daredevil Born Again.
That's right, hitting Disney Plus on April 15th, 2025. And look, we've been digging through all the fan theories, breaking down those first 8 episodes.
Intense episode.
Totally. So our mission here really is to unpack what might be coming. Those key questions, the potential outcomes, especially after, well, that episode 8 cliffhanger.
It really left things on a knife edge, and it's amazing how this show, has brought back such a passionate fan base.
It really has.
So just to quickly set the scene again for you listening, you've got Matt Murdock still dealing with profound loss, trying to navigate this city.
And a city now run by Wilson Fisk.
Mayor Fisk.
Mayor Fisk, exactly. And it's not just a new season, it's very much a continuation, picking up threads from that the beloved Netflix Daredevil run. Yeah, and getting to this finale, well, it wasn't exactly straightforward behind the scenes, was it? We had that big mid-production shakeup.
A huge creative overhaul, yeah. New showrunner, new directors came in.
And, crucially, bringing back Karen Page and Foggy Nelson. That felt like a really deliberate signal, didn't it?
Oh, definitely. A move towards feeling more like that serialized, connected story from Netflix. The show everyone remembers.
One known for its deep character work and, let's be honest, pretty gritty, violent tone.
And that change behind the scenes, it tells you something. Maybe the initial direction wasn't quite landing.
Could be.
So bringing in Dario Scartapane, who worked on The Punisher, and directors from Moon Knight and Loki, it really suggests they wanted to lean back into that darker, more serialized vibe.
Responding to what the fans loved about the original, perhaps.
Exactly. Meeting those high expectations.
Okay, so let's really lay the groundwork for you. We got to remember the key stuff leading into this finale. First, the season started with a massive shock. Matt retiring as Daredevil.
After Foggy's murder by Bullseye, right in the premiere. Devastated.
Just brutal. And then Matt teams up with Kirsten McDuffie. They start their own firm, Murdoch and McDuffie.
While on the other side, Wilson Fisk makes his play for mayor.
And wins. And immediately starts pushing this heavy anti-vigilante agenda.
Yeah, and alongside that main plot, you had those key subplots simmering. The whole White Tiger situation, his trial, his murder.
That really hammered home how dangerous things were for vigilantes under Fisk.
For sure. Then there was the introduction of Muse, that serial killer, added a really creepy layer to the city.
Okay.
And of course, the Fisk and Vanessa dynamic. Complex, chilling, especially learning how much she was pulling strings while he was locked up.
Right, more than we maybe realized at first.
Yeah.
And we can't forget Fisk's anti-vigilante task force, the AVTF.
The guys who disturbingly seem to idolize the Punisher, that's a whole thing in itself.
It really is. Okay, and then episode 8, Isle of Joy. Just blew everything wide open.
Totally detonated the status quo. Fisk arranges Bullseye's transfer.
Which was always going to go sideways. And it did, violently.
Yeah, Dex escapes. And Matt, thinking Fisk ordered Foggy's death, confronts Dex in prison.
And kind of inadvertently helps him escape by injuring him in that fight.
Crazy.
It's incredibly complicated. But the real bombshell, the absolute gut punch, was at Fisk's black and white ball.
Oh, man. Matt finally figures it out.
The truth. Vanessa, not Wilson. She gave the order for Bullseye to kill Foggy.
Wow. And then in those final seconds, Fisk is about to expose Matt to Heather Glenn.
Bullseye shows up, takes aim at Fisk.
And Matt, on pure instinct, dives in front of the bullet, saves Fisk, and then collapses. I mean, you can't write a better cliffhanger. The stakes for this finale are just astronomical now.
Seriously, Matt's life is literally hanging by a thread.
Bullseye's loose, probably gunning for both Wilson and maybe Vanessa now, too.
And Matt knowing the truth about Vanessa and Foggy, that changes everything for him. Emotionally, legally, everything.
And the irony, Fisk owes his life to Daredevil, the guy his task force is hunting down. It's almost Shakespearean.
Right. And looming over all of this is the Punisher showing up.
Which has been heavily teased. So this finale, it's not just tying up loose ends, it's like multiple crises hitting at once.
And it absolutely has to set the stage for season 2, which we know is coming.
No pressure on the writers, right?
Yeah, none at all. So, okay, for you listening, the immediate conflict boils down to what happens right after Matt saves Fisk. The fallout from that single act.
Then the inevitable, incredibly brutal showdown with Bullseye.
And yeah, how does Frank Castle fit into this mess? Where does the Punisher land?
Exactly. And for Matt specifically, I mean, the first question is survival, right? Will he even pull through?
Really looked bad. Really bad.
And if he does survive, how does he square saving Fisk, the man responsible for so much pain?
Especially now knowing Vanessa was behind Foggy's death. But Fisk has still done so much else.
And his identity. Fisk saw him, unmasked. Saving his life is the secret out.
Could Fisk expose him? Or use it against him?
And maybe the biggest question for Matt's journey. Does this push him back to being Daredevil full-time after retiring? Does he embrace it again?
So many questions just about Matt. And then there's Foggy. That whole situation is still debated, isn't it? The fan theories are wild.
Oh, yeah. You've got a pretty vocal group convinced he faked his death.
Right. The witness protection idea. Maybe Vanessa helped orchestrate it, pulling from the comics.
They point to Eldon Henson being confirmed for season 2, that little Easter egg address.
The one that might reference the comic issue where Foggy comes back.
Exactly. And the show revealing Vanessa ordered the hit, that lines up pretty well with the comic setup, too. Even Marvel's social media seemed to lean into it a bit.
It's compelling stuff, you have to admit.
It is, but then you look at the arguments against it, just within the story of Born Again.
Like Matt senses. Would he not have picked up on something if it was fake?
That's a big one. It would take an incredibly sophisticated deception. And did Foggy really have the time or resources for that?
Probably not.
And more to the point, narratively, Foggy's death was the driving force for Matt this whole season. His grief, his anger.
So revealing it was fake. Does that undercut everything Matt went through?
It potentially could, yeah. Diminish the emotional weight. Plus, Bullseye had Matt right where he wanted him in prison. Perfect chance to twist the knife by revealing Foggy was alive, if he knew.
But he didn't.
He didn't. So while the comic parallels are fun, the way the show has presented it, Foggy's death feels pretty tragically real. Maybe Henson's season 2 role is flashbacks? Or, like, part of Matt's head?
Exploring the trauma? Maybe. That makes sense, too. Okay, let's pivot to Kingpin. He owes Daredevil his life. What's his next play? He always has one.
Fisk is fascinating because he's so unpredictable. He could easily spin the ball incident.
How so?
Paint himself as the victim, attacked by one vigilante, saved by another, use it to push his anti-vigilante agenda even harder, empower the AVTF more, see the chaos they cause.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I could see him doing that. And he knows Matt's secret now?
Yeah.
That's huge leverage.
Massive. Does he keep it quiet? Use it to control Matt later? Or does he just blow it wide open, expose him publicly, turn everyone against Daredevil?
He did threaten Matt earlier in the season, didn't he? Hinting he knew.
He did. A public outing would definitely neutralize Daredevil as a physical threat. But, like we saw with White Tiger, it could also backfire, create a martyr.
Fisk has options. Dangerous options. And what about Vanessa? She's really stepped up, hasn't she? Ordering Foggy's death. That's ice cold.
Absolutely. That confirms she's not just standing by Fisk, she's a major player, ruthless, making her own calls.
A queen pin in her own right.
For sure. But that power makes her a target now, doesn't it? Matt knows what she did.
And Bullseye. If he finds out she was involved in his imprisonment or Foggy's death.
He could definitely come after her too. And her relationship with Wilson. How does this change things? Does he know the full extent? How will he react if Matt confronts her?
Could it strengthen them? Or break them apart?
That dark partnership is definitely going to be tested.
Okay, and speaking of Bullseye, he's out. He's probably more unhinged than ever. What's his role in the finale?
A rematch with Daredevil feels almost certain, right? Their whole conflict this season started with Foggy.
But can Matt even fight him? After taking that bullet for Fisk, he looked critically injured.
That's the million-dollar question. And Bullseye's motivation, it's probably a mix, right? Revenge on Fisk for past stuff, maybe revenge on Vanessa now, too.
The fact he used his own tooth as a weapon
shows desperation, resourcefulness, but it also feeds into those fan theories we mentioned earlier, doesn't it?
Right, the enhancement theories. From that spinal surgery in the Netflix show, the Cognium Steel.
Exactly. Could it have done more than just heal him? Enhanced durability, reflexes, maybe something low-level superhuman like his comic counterpart.
It would explain how he survived that fall in the premiere.
It potentially could, and using his tooth like that, it adds fuel to the fire. If he is enhanced, he's an even bigger nightmare for a weakened Matt.
And people are definitely waiting to see if he finally puts on the classic costume, the mask.
Oh yeah, the anticipation for that is high. But enhanced or not, if they capture him.
The raft, that's the big theory, right? Setting up thunderbolts.
Seems very likely. Locking him up in the MCU's super prison makes a lot of sense.
Okay. And then, the Punisher, Frank Castle, his arrival feels imminent. How does he shake things up?
Well, first off, you gotta expect him to go after the AVTF. Hard.
For using his symbol, misappropriating his whole deal.
Exactly. Frank Castle doesn't tolerate that. Someone
Yeah.
like Detective Cole North, especially with those dark theories that maybe he killed White Tiger posing as Punisher.
Oh man, North could be in serious trouble if Frank finds him.
Big time. But it's also possible Frank shows up as, like, an unlikely ally for Matt, right?
Against Bullseye
Oh,
or the
yeah.
AVTF. That would be intense. Their philosophies are so different.
Totally. That clash between Matt's code and Frank's methods is always compelling. And whatever happens here, it's almost certainly going to lead into his own special presentation.
Setting up his next target. Maybe someone in the AVTF, like North.
Very possible. It connects everything nicely.
We also have those other threads dangling, don't we?
Yeah.
Like the Red Hook project Fisk keeps pushing. What is that even about?
Yeah, that's been lurking all season. Its real purpose needs to come out. Probably tied to Vanessa's operations or Fisk's bigger plans for the city. Something shady, for sure.
And Daniel Blake, Fisk's protege, now deputy mayor. Is he really loyal?
Well, there's that fascinating theory he might be the son of Detective Christian Blake, the corrupt cop from the Netflix show.
Oh, right. Playing the long game for revenge. That would be quite a twist.
It adds a whole layer of potential intrigue to his character.
And don't forget, Bebe Urich, Ben's niece. Seems like she's digging into Fisk from the inside.
And Commissioner Gallo, who seems less and less okay with Fisk's power grabs.
Right. So those characters, their stories probably reach a turning point too. We find out where they really stand.
They almost have to. Their choices could definitely impact the main fight.
So putting it all together, this finale sounds less like an ending and more like, I don't know, a powder keg
Yeah.
ready to go off.
I think that's a perfect description. It feels like it needs to really cement the tone for this whole street-level corner of the MCU.
Make a statement about what these shows are going to be like.
Exactly. It's got that TVMA rating. It's dealing with dark themes, intense violence. Born Again is carving out its own space. More adult, maybe.
Seems like it.
So this finale is crucial for defining that. Expect tough choices, murky morality, probably some genuinely shocking moments.
Okay, so final question then. Thinking about all of this converging. Matt hurt, Bullseye loose, Vanessa's secret out, Fisk knowing Matt's identity, Punisher coming. What single event for you listening right now do you think will hit hardest? What will have the biggest lasting impact on Matt Murdock and Hell's Kitchen going forward?
That's the big one, isn't it? So many potential game changers on the table, it's almost overwhelming.